Hello everybody and welcome back to Start Crochet. In our last lesson we learned how to attach yarn to our hook with a slip knot. Today I'm going to show you how to work a chain stitch, which is a foundation for any crochet project that's worked in rows. So let me just go and show you once more how to work the slip knot. Basically what I do is I lay my crochet hook aside for now. I pick up the end of the yarn here, create a loop, take the top of that loop and fold it over the working yarn to have a pretzel shape. I hold the end of the yarn and the working yarn, which is attached to the ball, and I pick up that center loop here with my fingers and I pull. Okay, and that's your slip knot. It looks huge right now, but the reason it's called a slip knot is because once you attach your hook, insert your hook into it like this, you can adjust it. You can slip it like that and then have a nice tight loop around your hook. Now to start your chain, you want to make sure that this isn't too tight. So don't pull too hard on it, okay? You want to have a little space here, and make sure that your hook fits easily through that loop that you just created, okay? The next step is to hold your yarn. Now people hold their yarn in many different ways. Some people just pinch it like that. Some people find a nice comfortable way to wrap it around a finger or two. Find whatever way suits you to create what we call the perfect tension here. The tension is how tightly or loosely that yarn sits between where it's attached to your hook and where you're holding it. So I hold mine like this. I wrap it around my pinky finger and once around my pointer, and then I hold the tail. So to start chaining, try to practice doing this kind of motion with your hook, okay? Because what you want to do is wrap the yarn around the hook like that, okay? And if you're keeping it stiff like this, it might fall out before you actually get it through this loop here. This is called a loop, okay? So wrap your yarn around the hook, or rather your hook around the yarn, and then twist it a tiny bit, okay, to make sure that it's holding on the yarn properly. And now you want to get that yarn through this loop, okay? So that's why we kept a little bit of a space here to make sure we can get it through like that. Okay, let's try that again. So now we have one chain. Can you see that little V here? That's what's called a chain. And that first tiny thing, that is the slip knot. That does not count as a stitch. And before I start using the word stitch, let me explain what a stitch is. A stitch is the fundamental unit of the fabric created by looping yarn with a crochet hook. Okay, so you'll find in every crochet pattern, they'll be talking about different types of stitches. So what we're learning here is the chain stitch. Then you've got other stitches like single crochet stitch, double crochet stitch, treble crochet stitch. There's hundreds of stitches in crochet, but let's just start with the basics for today. So now we've created one chain. Let's do that again. Loop the yarn around the hook like that. Make sure you twist your hook a tiny bit to make so that you can grab it. Pull, pull, pull until you get it through your chain. Okay, one more time. Loop the yarn around your hook. Twist your hook a tiny bit and grab it and pull it through. Okay? Now, with chains, most people can't keep consistent tension, which means one chain, they'll have a big loop like this and pull through. So it will look quite loose, okay? And then on another chain, they might make it really tight here at the beginning and pull through like this tightly. Okay, so can you see the difference? Now you have a big hole in this one. This one's too tight. What you want is to have consistent tension in your chain so that they all look exactly the same. So this will come with practice. Just keep pulling the yarn through your loop one after the next. So these I'm making a bit looser. Okay, you see these are loose. These are tight. I'm going to show you what they look like when I tighten a little bit. So the way you tighten or loosen is before you start looping, you can adjust here how loose or how tight you want that stitch to be by pulling this way or pulling back with your finger. Okay, so then let's try some more. Yarn over, pull through. This is called a yarn over when you're looping the yarn over your hook. That's a yarn over. And in crochet patterns, that's abbreviated with YO. Pull through. See, now it's a little bit too big, so I'll pull it and tighten it. Yarn over, pull through. But you don't want to tighten it too much. You don't want to tighten all the way like that, and then you won't be able to pull through, right? It's going to be so tight that you can't even pull it through. So find a happy medium. Tiny bit of a hole here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And keep going, practicing your chain, because whatever pattern you'll be following will tell you, chain 20 or chain 30 or 10 or whatever the number is to start the foundation of your project. From here, the next stitch you're going to learn is the single crochet stitch. So I'll see you in the next video for that. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you found it helpful, I'd love it if you'd leave me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Have a lovely day. Bye.